I don't think any of you are on right now, and kind of glad my my camera's not working too well because I'm obviously in bed already. Yeah, I had a really late night last night, couldn't sleep with all the stuff that's going on, so I'm pretty tired today. But I wanted to do this coaching call for you guys because I think quite a lot of you struggle with the same things, and it's all to do with I guess your preconceptions about how you should behave on a fitness program, how you should behave when you are trying to incorporate healthy eating habits into your life, and the way that you deal with that mentally, and the way that you deal with the stress of that as well. Um, so none of you are live. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions that I've had by I hope I haven't lost that window. Oh, it's still there. I'm going to answer the questions that I've had um, by Facebook message, and I'll start with those. And there was a couple that I wanted to talk about that I had on WhatsApp as well. So I think where we'll start is maybe with the idea that you guys want to learn some good habits, right, around food. You want to kick your sugar habits. You want to get into a habit of eating clean, healthy meals. You don't want to be snacking on sugary stuff, all that kind of stuff. And I think the kind of the automatic feeling when you start a new fitness program or a new diet is that you're going to go really strict. And I hear this all the time. It's like, I am an all or nothing person. I'm either going to go for it or I'm not going to do it at all, and I'm going to totally binge. And what that says to me is that you're not all or nothing, you're just nothing, because there is no all or nothing. There are, I mean, like, count on your hands the number of times that you've done it really strictly for consistently for a decent period of time. When I'm talking a decent period of time, I'm talking like 12 months, right? 12 months is what I would call a consistent pattern, because you're crossing all of the seasons, you're crossing lots of events, birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, holidays, all that kind of thing. And you are crossing like the different seasons and stuff. So for me, a consistent pattern is something that is maintained for 12 months or more, right? I think you guys are getting this wrong because you're trying to be really strict with it. You're trying to do all or nothing, as people call it, for a number of weeks. And this is the way that all or nothing works. When you are really strict with yourself, you put yourself through something that is difficult, something that causes you pain, mental pain and physical pain. You'll get physical pain from cravings, you'll get mental pain from trying to resist the cravings and feeling like you're deprived, feeling like you're missing out on stuff, feeling like, your kids are having fun and your husband's having fun, and all these people are doing this stuff around you, and you feel isolated, and you feel like you're resenting them, you're resenting the other people in your life, but you're also resenting yourself, because you want to get into good shape, you want to kick all these bad habits you have around food, but you just can't seem to do it because the cravings are taking over. And even if you manage to be good for that one meal or that party, or there's chocolate in the fridge or whatever, and you've been good for a day, that a couple of days later, you're going to give in to those cravings. And this is what happens with all or nothing all the time. Okay, there really isn't an exception to this rule. So what happens psychologically with all or nothing is that you are creating a field of punishment. You're telling yourself that you've been bad for a long time and you need to punish yourself into being good. So you're setting restrictions and rules, and the brain doesn't like that. We where we live in our brains, we live at a certain age. I mean, like, a lot of the time our mental age, the way that we see ourselves is often formed in our teenage years. So we carry those limitations and those self-beliefs right through into adulthood, and those are the things that kind of they stimulate our thoughts, our self-chatter, that we hear every day. So when we're talking about trying to be good on a diet, our self-talk is the one that is always going to pull us off that pattern. And we're talking to ourselves in terms of negatives. We're saying you're fat, you're ugly, you're disgusting, I don't like the way I look in these clothes, can't believe the state that I've let myself get into, I've got a fat ass, I've got fat thighs, all of these things that we say to ourselves, which is so derogatory. I mean, you never speak to anyone in your life the way that you speak to yourself, and it's not acceptable, because the more you do that to yourself, the more you are reinforcing all these beliefs. And the self-talk that we have in our heads comes from, well, it's formed like largely before we're 7. Like, you'll hear things that your mum and dad will say, or teachers or whatever, and those are the things that you'll hear in your head for the rest of your life. And same during your teenage years, a lot of our self-talk is not us talking, it's parents, maybe like critical people that you've had in your life that have been the basis of your self-belief and the image that you have of you in your head. So when we're talking to ourselves in these negative ways, we're just reinforcing the fact that we can't do this, we're not good enough, we can't stick to this plan, and we feel resentful, we feel deprived, as I said already. And when you feel resentful and you feel like you're going through pain, the brain is a very clever thing. It doesn't want to experience pain. It doesn't want to experience negative emotions, sadness, anger, frustration, like all of those things. So if you're trying to put yourself through something that is mentally or physically painful, and there's no real immediate benefit from it, your brain will just say no. And this is why you can't, willpower doesn't work. Willpower will not work. It'll work for a certain time, but it won't work long term, because your brain is just going to say, look, no, you're putting yourself under stress, and stress is going to make you ill. And the brain is there to protect us from getting ill, and it's there to help us survive. So this is why all or nothing doesn't work, because it's a painful process, right? You can't sustain all or nothing. You can't teach yourself good habits through doing all or nothing, because it's not sustainable. What are you going to do when it comes to Christmas? What are you going to do when it comes to your birthday? What are you going to do when it comes to summer holidays? What are you going to do when you go around your parents for dinner, or your friends invite you out, or you want to go to a gig on a Friday night, or you want to go out to the cinema? You can't be good all the time. And then it comes down to the framework of how we phrase these things. So when we're talking about good and bad food, is it really good and bad food? It's not good and bad food, it's just food. Some food has higher nutritional density, and some food has a more pleasurable quality to it. And both of these things are important. You must enjoy food. People always talk about comfort eating like it's a bad thing. Comfort eating isn't a bad thing. The first place that we learn comfort is as a baby, and when we are at our mother's breast. So when baby is upset, when baby is feeling insecure, when baby is feeling sick, when baby is feeling tired, the first thing it wants to do is it wants to latch on. It wants mother's milk. It wants to be close to its mum. It wants the oxytocin. So comfort eating isn't a bad thing. We need to associate food with comfort. We need to derive pleasure from food. So if you are denying yourself pleasurable food, if you're denying yourself pleasurable experiences, well, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to maintain that long term, and you are going to end up binging, because your brain is saying, well, I can never have this again. I can never have this experience that I put so much value in. I can never have this social experience with my kids. I can never have this social experience with my husband, with my family and friends, with my loved ones. You know, we a lot of our celebrations and our close times are based around food, family meals, or when we get together and we talk about our day and, you know, we spend some time together. All of these things are important experiences. So taking the pleasure away from food and trying to force yourself into some kind of strict routine is not going to work, because you are going to binge. Your willpower is not going to hold out. You are going to binge because you need to have pleasure from food. And this is why it's important to create a sustainable relationship with food. And this is why on my programs, I don't say these are banned foods. You're not allowed to have this, this, or this. I say, try and focus on these foods. I give you a template. I don't give you specific foods that you have to have in your meal plans. And I say, this is your structure for your day or your week. And once you've done that, if you stick to your plan, you stick to your structure, you're getting enough water, you're getting enough meals, and you're getting enough calories, and you get enough vitamins and nutrients. If you want anything extra, you can go and have it. That's no problem. Chances are you're not going to be acting out with food because you're starving. Okay, so let's talk about eating patterns now. As busy mums, we tend to fall into what I call famine feeding. So we will maybe have some breakfast, maybe not, rush out the door, and then we will be on nervous energy all day. We might stop for lunch, we might pick here and there, but largely we won't eat that much during the day because we're busy at work, or we're rushing around after kids, we've got lots on. And then come sort of mid-afternoon, 3-4 o'clock, then our body goes, what the hell's going on? You've expended all this energy, you're stressed out, your blood sugar's low, and what are you going to do? I need food now. Now, the brain only works on glucose. The brain cannot operate on fats, it cannot operate on proteins. It needs glucose to function. So if you have not been eating all day and there's no glucose for your brain to function, your brain's going to tell you to get glucose. And the quickest way to get glucose is your sugar fix, right? So your brain will tell you, I want carbs, I want sugary carbs, and I want them now. So you're going to go for the nearest thing, probably a packet of biscuits, cake, something like that. Heavy on carbs, heavy on sugar. So this is why routine and regular meals are important. And it is important that you do have your breakfast, you have your snack, you have your lunch, or breakfast might be close to lunch, but have your snack mid-afternoon, have your dinner, and have a snack before bed. That is important to get into that routine. If you're eating 5 times a day like that, it's very unlikely that you're going to be going for the sugar because you need a sugar fix. Okay, once you've got your regular meals in, once you've got your calories in, once your water is up, you will find that those cravings naturally start to disappear. And I promise you that does happen, especially with the hydration. Hydration is key. The amount of clients that I have taken through this program over the last, 7 or 8 years, and once their hydration is up, their cravings start to disappear. But you have to do those two things. You have to fuel your body, you have to fuel your brain, and you need to get the hydration up as well. It's important that you don't take out the things that make you happy. So if you like chocolate, if chocolate makes you happy, if you like to have your cake and a coffee on a Friday, go and have it. If you want a glass of wine with your dinner, go and have that. If you're going for dinner with friends, it's a social event and there are things on the table that you want to have and you want to be part of that meal and you want to enjoy it, have those things, but act in moderation. Don't go crazy. I think the biggest lesson that I learned when I kind of came to terms with my eating disorder after 30 odd years was there was so much power in giving myself permission to eat whatever I wanted. So the day that I kind of switched my thinking, and it was like a light bulb went on in my head, and I allowed myself to have whatever I wanted. And suddenly I didn't want it anymore. I was like, well, I can have chocolate whenever I want. So there's no real urgency to have it because it's there in the fridge. I can have it whenever I want. There's no rules around it. However, when I was telling myself that I wasn't allowed chocolate, that I wasn't allowed this, I wasn't allowed carbs, I wasn't like, I was quite extreme. Like I was only allowed to have, boiled fish and green vegetables. At that point, I would go crazy binging on everything. I'd fast for 3 days and then suddenly I'd go on a 2-week binge because it was a forbidden thing. But the day I said to myself, right, stop, you can have whatever you want, you can eat carbs whenever you want, you can have chocolate whenever you want. Nothing was banned. Nothing was banned. I didn't put a restriction on anything. And that day, I suddenly gained control back of my life because I knew I could have everything. It was like, I think when you start a diet, you get this thing the weekend before where you go, I'm just going to eat everything in the house. I'm going to clear my cupboards. I'm going to eat all the chocolate. I'm going to have my latte. I'm going to have that gingerbread. I'm going to have this, that, and the other because I want all these things. So I'm going to get it out of my system so that I can just be clean for the next 3 weeks. It doesn't work like that because you've just gone on a massive sugar binge. And come, Monday, you might be all right after the weekend, massive sugar binge. Monday, you have a sugar crash. By Tuesday, you're craving like mad because you've put all of these chemicals and all this junk in your body and then suddenly taking it all away again. It's just crazy the amount of people that I see doing this to themselves and telling themselves, I'm going to be really strict and I'm going to be really. It's just punishment. It's another form of self-abuse, self-harm, and self-punishment, and it does not work. The only thing that works is consistency, is taking care of yourself, acting with love, nurturing your body through food, through hydration, through sensible exercise, and through sleep. And you need to listen to your body. If you are tired, you need to rest. If you haven't been drinking enough water, if you haven't been eating enough food, you will get tired by 5-6 o'clock at night. You will be exhausted come 8 p.m. If you've not been eating properly, all of these things will happen. Okay, if you've not been drinking properly, you will feel exhausted all the time. You'll wake up exhausted. There's a lot of people who experience it this time of year. I see it with all the mums at school. I literally, every mum I talk to at school, and they're all pretty well, my child is fortunately at a really nice school, and all the mums there really slim, really up with their nutrition, and they've got personal trainers and all the rest of it. They know what they're doing. But so many of them go, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I need to sleep in the afternoon. And you question them about the hydration, and you can just see, like, because it's cold, they're forgetting to drink. The water level's just gone through the floor, and they're wondering why they're tired in the afternoon. We need to have an absolute minimum of 3 liters of water per day. So if you're not doing the basics, you will crave sugar, you will be tired, and your body will not function properly, and your brain won't function properly. So make sure you're getting your food in, make sure you're having your breakfast, your regular meals, and your water, and allow yourself to have your treats whenever you want. Because giving yourself permission is giving yourself the freedom of choice. And when you have the choice to say, I can choose to have this, or I can choose to have it later if I want, or I can choose maybe not to have it, it suddenly doesn't become a big deal and your craving goes away. That's how you beat emotional eating. Okay, I'm gonna just open up the chat box. If you've got any questions, just type them into the Q&A box. And whilst I'm waiting for those, I'm going to grab up my Facebook questions. Right. Okay. So. Okay, Tabs. I tend to binge eat in the afternoons. It's predominantly chocolate. Usually I never stop at one. It's usually most of a multi-pack. The first one I have is usually because it's a long time till tea and because I have low sugar levels. Right. Okay, so let's just address that first. If your sugar levels are dropping in the afternoon, it means that you haven't eaten your breakfast properly and you haven't eaten properly in the first half of the day. So make sure you are prepping. If you don't have time for breakfast, you need to, on a Sunday, get your fruit and veg out, chop it up, put it into Ziploc bags, and put 7 of them into the freezer so that when you wake up in the morning, you can go to your blender, add your milk, add your protein, add your freezer bag of chopped fruit and veg, blend it, and you are good to go. Okay, at least then you've had breakfast. Have a couple of rice cakes as well if you feel like you need to actually physically eat something. So a couple of rice cakes, and you shake and you're good to go. That will also get your hydration levels up in the morning. The other important thing is if you feel like you have low sugar levels in the afternoon, my bet is it probably isn't low sugar levels. My bet is that it's probably dehydration. They feel quite similar. Most people don't realize that. So get your 500, as soon as you wake up, you should be drinking half a litre. You're dehydrated in the morning. It's the easiest time of day to get that half a litre in. As soon as you wake up, chuck that back, have some more liquid in your shake, and then keep drinking all morning. I know you'll be on the toilet all the time at the moment because it's new, but your body will get used to using that water and being hydrated. Okay, so if your sugar levels are dropping in the afternoon, have you eaten your lunch properly? Have you had enough calories at lunch? Have you had your, portion of carbs? I tend to say about 100 grams of rice, 100 grams of sweet potatoes, a portion of carbs. So have that with your lunch, 100 to 120 grams of protein and 100 grams of veg. If you're eating that at lunchtime, there should be no reason why your sugar levels are dropping in the afternoon. If you've had your breakfast and that, you can have a snack in the morning as well, around 11. Couple of rice cakes is good. Some vegetable sticks with hummus. Maybe some fruit, some nuts with your fruit to balance it out. That should be enough. So there's no reason to have low sugar levels in mid-afternoon. If you need a snack mid-afternoon, take it with you. This is all about prep. Again, a couple of rice cakes, some berries, some almonds, maybe some Greek yogurt or coconut yogurt, something like that. Maybe you've got another shake in the afternoon, but make sure you've got these things with you. It's quite easy to manage sugar levels if you are prepared and if you've done it on a Sunday. I mean, it doesn't take long. It takes an hour or two to prep these things for the week. So just prep your lunches and prep your breakfast. If you can't do anything else, that's enough. Because if you can manage to get through the day, by the time you get home and you know what you're having for dinner, your day's sorted. Okay, so the first chocolate bar I have is usually because it's a long time till tea because I have a low sugar level. So we've covered that. The next one is because I've eaten one, so I may as well eat another. Okay. So this goes back to the reason, the original thing that I was saying. If you are telling yourself that it's all or nothing, the idea that you've got in your head is, well, I'm never going to have this again. I'm never going to have chocolate again. I mean, I'm not going to have chocolate again for another 3 months. So if I've had one now, I'm going to make the most of this opportunity to have something that I really enjoy, that I really, it gives me pleasure, it gives me satisfaction. So I'm going to eat the whole fucking packet, quite frankly, because I'm not going to be able to do this for months. And it's crazy. Just tell yourself you're allowed chocolate. It literally is that easy. Because if you want chocolate, just go and have some chocolate. It's not the end of the world if you have a bar of chocolate, because you'll have one bar and that will be it. The next day you might think, you know what? I kind of did want it, but I can also choose not to have it. Maybe today I'll choose not to have it. Maybe I'll choose to have it later if I still want it. By the time it gets to later, you might have forgotten it. It's all about permission. It's really simple, but it's such a hard thing to grasp because I almost feel like I'm unprogramming women. You've been programmed with all this shit in your heads for so long. It is ridiculous. All the, the Weight Watchers and the Rosemary Conley diets and all the 80s fads and the, the detoxes, the herbal lives and all the Cambridge diets and all these things that tell you you're not allowed to do stuff. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You're an adult, you've got choice. Use your choice, give yourself freedom, give yourself permission to be an adult and enjoy things. So yeah, you will binge if it goes. So the next is because I have eaten one, so I may as well eat another. Give yourself permission to have one. Give yourself permission to have one the next day if you want. That will get rid of it. Then it goes on to more snacking because you're in this mindset of, I'm never going to have this again. Tomorrow I'm back on my diet. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. Monday, that's it. Monday going to be really good. I'm going to be really good for 3 weeks. I'm going to lose all that body fat and I'm going to look amazing. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It works through consistency. You can't lose weight overnight. You can't go from, you know, a size 12 to a size 10 overnight. You can't do it in a week, can't do it in 2 weeks. Well, you can, but it's going to be water. It's not going to be body fat. You're not going to be happy with your body anyway, because you'll have lost the weight, but it'll be water weight. You'll still be soft. You'll still be holding cellulite. You'll still be untoned. You know, consistency is the only thing that will get you there, and you've got to enjoy the process. If you're finding this difficult, if you're finding the process of exercising painful, if you're finding the process of dieting painful, if you're not enjoying it, well, why the hell are you going to carry on doing it? You've got to find something that works with your life. You've got to find something that you can engage with, that you can see it's working for you, that is you can maintain around your life. You can still go out and see your friends. You can still go out and have a drink. You can still, you know, go and do stuff with your kids and have a hot chocolate, or, you know, make a gingerbread house at Christmas, and, you know, go to office parties and stuff. But you can go and enjoy it knowing that you've got permission to go and have a drink or a couple of drinks. You know, one chocolate bar, one hot chocolate. You're not going to go and binge out for 24 hours and then feel shit about yourself the next day. That's all it comes down to. When you can do this, you will start to build consistency in your life. When you wake up every morning and go, I can do 15 minutes. It's not going to kill me. I can do 15 minutes. Then I'm going to have my breakfast, which I really enjoy. I'm going to go to work, you know, and just have this openness about your day. Be open to the possibility that you might actually enjoy this, that it is doing good for you. See the best possible outcome. I think we focus too much on the what if this doesn't work? What am I missing out on? Am I gonna, oh, I'm missing out. Everyone else has got cake. I'm missing out on cake. You know, I'm missing out on going out tonight because I'm not allowed to drink. I'm missing out on, you know, my mum's gonna like, she's gonna go on at me at the weekend because I'm not eating what she wants me to eat, and, you know, I'm gonna feel like I'm taking it from all sides. It's not an enjoyable process. You need to have like pleasurable experiences in your life for this to work. So make the process easy for yourself by giving yourself permission to do everything, but focus on the best possible outcome. So the best possible outcome of your day when you wake up tomorrow is, best possible outcome is I'm going to wake up, I'm going to do my workout straight away. What's the best possible outcome of that? I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get in the shower and feel great. My legs are going to hurt. My abs are going to hurt. You know, my chest is going to hurt. Tomorrow it might do. And what's the best possible outcome after that? You're going to be in a positive mindset. You're going to want to eat healthy. So you've had your breakfast. You're feeling great because you've got some good fuel in you. You know, that will carry you through till your mid-morning snack. Again, best possible outcome of this snack. I could go for the sugary latte, but you know what? I'm going to choose to do this because I know it's going to make me feel better at lunchtime. If I do this, I'm going to feel more energetic. I'm not going to have that mid-afternoon slump. You know, I'm taking responsibility for myself. I'm not making excuses anymore. I'm not a 15-year-old child anymore. You know, I am a responsible adult, and I know if I want something, I'm going to have to work for it, and I'm going to have to go through a few challenges. And there's going to be feelings of loss. I'm going to miss the foods that I'm not, you know, that I was eating all the time, that I'm not eating so often now. There's going to be process of change. You know, it's going to be hard to change my routines. I'm going to want to give up some days. I'm going to feel tired some days. I'm going to feel like I can't be bothered. But I know if I take that day off, well, then I'll probably have 2 or 3 days off, and then I probably won't do it again. So you just need to be a little bit more responsible for your own goals, responsible for your own desires, and stop blaming other things. Stop blaming the fact you've got period, or it's dark, it's raining, you know, you had a bad day at work, or, you know, you had an argument with someone. Stop blaming everything for your inability to be consistent with yourself, because the only person that's going to take anything out of this at the end of the day, it's not me, it's you. So if you want this to work, you have to kind of grow up a little bit and take responsibility for yourself and for your actions. And this is something that is kind of compacted for me, because when you come to doing something for competition, you don't have, it's almost like those excuses are taken away from you, because, in 6 months' time, when you're stood on that stage in your bikini and your heels in a room full of hundreds of people with a panel of judges looking at you, you can't make the excuse at that point that it was raining and it was dark and I felt tired when I got up, so I didn't want to go to the gym. I feel tired most days. My body aches most days because I train really, really hard. And I'm really strict on my diet because I have to be, because it's a competition. That's a different, it's totally different from living a normal life and going to work. I wouldn't be strict with my diet at that point, but at this point I have to be. So, there's different levels of this, but I think what comes from an athlete's perspective is this. When you're an athlete, you learn to take personal responsibility. You learn to perform with discipline every day. You learn to grow through your challenges, and mentally just push yourself through those challenges. So even when you feel tired, when you feel unmotivated, when you feel like you really just want to give in to the chocolate cravings or whatever, there's something greater behind it. And this is why I give you the prep work to do, which I'm sorry about the documents, by the way. I'm really sorry. I actually remember trying to put that up and I don't know why it didn't go up. So please go through the prep work. It's in the document that I loaded today. It's called Prep and Supplements document or something like that. And there are 5 days of questions in there. You can do them all in one day, or you can do them over 5 days. But please sit down with them and with a pen, and sit down for an hour with space and properly write those out. You're doing it for you, not for me. But the clients that I've had do this before are the clients that have gone away and just got amazing results. I mean, not just in the body, they've got amazing results in the body. I don't really care about that. I don't care about what size their body is at the end of it. That's not it for me. What I care about is how they walk away mentally, and whether they are then happy with themselves, whether they've grown, whether they understand their brains more, whether they understand why they stress eat, why emotions drive them. So go through those questions, please, and email them to me so I can help you with them and work through any sticking points you've got there. Just that act of writing it down will help you sort out a lot of behaviors in your own mind. You'll start to understand why you do things, why things are important to you, or help you take responsibility. And it is important that you stick your goals up somewhere where you can see them every day. Now, I know this is cliche. I know you've heard it before, but vision boards work. I've had a vision board in my house since, I don't know, since River was born. And everything on my vision board I have achieved, even when I didn't realize I was going to achieve it. And I know it sounds like I'm talking from The Secret or something like that, but it's true. The vision board I had in my house when River was 2 years old had a picture of my ex-coach, Kelly Rennie. Didn't know her at the time, but I ended up coaching with her for 3 years. She ended up becoming a really good friend of mine. So she was on my vision board. I had a picture of where I wanted to live, where I wanted River to go to school, and out of the blue, I couldn't keep I broke my ankle. That was where it is. I broke my ankle. I was living in a townhouse. We had it was, multi-story. We had 3 flights of stairs in there. Had to move out and moved to a flat. River was just about to start school. I didn't want him in Oldland Common. I wanted to go to Westbury Park, and without thinking, I just found this place in Westbury Park. It just popped up, like this flat, and it was the only one that I liked, and I went to see it, and I just took it straight away. River ended up in the school that I wanted him in, that I put on my vision board years ago. And all of these things kind of happen without me realizing, but they're there. They're there because they're on my vision board and I see them every day. And in the back of my head, I'm creating these things. I'm creating these opportunities for myself, and I'm moving towards the goals that I want, because I know what I want. I'm clear with my goals. I've done my prep work. I do that every day. So do it. It is important, because you will get there. Once these goals and desires to eat better, to have more energy, to be less stressed, to be happier, to spend more time with your family, to spend an hour a week just for you, to spend 2 hours a week just cooking or looking up recipes. Once you've put those out, and you've written them down and you're looking at them every day, it will happen because it will be at the forefront of your mind. Where your attention goes is where your focus goes, and that is the area of your life where you will see success. It's always the areas of our life that we don't pay attention to that fail. Um, so yeah, sorry, I went off on a massive tangent on that one. But I hope that's kind of answered the question about binging. Okay, how do I crack? How do I stop making excuses in my own head? Well, I've discussed that already. How to and why do I justify it to myself? How to crack the excuses and justification to myself. Okay, so the reason you're making justification to yourself, like I've got my period, or whatever else excuse you're making up for yourself, again, it comes down to taking personal responsibility and focusing on the best possible outcome. And for a while you might need to write that down. Every time you might need to write it down, go, what is the best possible outcome of the choice that I have in front of me? The choice is I can have chocolate, I can have rice cakes with peanut butter, I can have some vegetable sticks, I can have some protein. Okay, what am I going to choose, and what is the outcome of my choice? You might choose to have both, you know. Yeah, so okay, that was that one. I've had to log off due to hyper excited child. No worries, Lorraine. It's been her birthday. Okay, cool. No worries. You can catch it on the replay as well. Any other questions? I struggle to make myself exercise. I love it when I do it, but I'm so ashamed about how I look. I find it hard to get out there. Oh, you know, and that's fine. You don't have to exercise in public. You don't have to exercise in public. You can exercise in your pajamas. You can exercise in your underwear, in your own home when no one else is looking at you. Kids don't really care, promise you. They don't care. And that is the best place to start. If you are feeling, if you're feeling self-conscious about the way you look, put on, you know, put on an old t-shirt, put on your jogging bottoms, but just get there and do it. You know, you've got to start somewhere. I know it's scary when you start to exercise, and I to be honest, I don't think it's about the way you look. It's so much about the way you feel. You know, when you start to exercise, you're going to feel unfit. You're going to feel out of breath. It's going to be painful. You're going to feel upset with yourself. You're going to feel emotional because you don't know how you've got to this point where you feel where you're so out of shape that you can't even do, you know, 5 minutes of working out. I know it hurts. It's horrible. I've come back from broken ankles, dislocated shoulders, dislocated ribs. You know, I know that's slightly different to you guys. You know, I am a fitness professional. I do love training. I do love exercise. I've always done it. But I do empathize with you when you say you struggle to get back to exercise. I know the pain it takes to get back to exercise. I have been in the gym with a full cast on my leg, you know, broke my ankle. 4 days later, I was in the gym training, and it hurt. It hurt like it hurt like hell. But I did it because I was never going to get better. I had to focus on the best possible outcome. You have to be conscientious in your thoughts. You have to rein in your negative self-talk. You have to focus on the best possible outcome. And the only way you get to the best possible outcome is by getting in there and doing the small steps to build up to the big steps. You know, if you can only do 5 reps and 1 minute of exercise, that's 1 minute more than you did yesterday and 5 reps more than you did yesterday. By the end of the week, you'll probably be doing 5 minutes. That's fine. If that's where you're starting, that's fine. And don't forget the the people that have never exercised, the people that don't exercise, haven't exercised in years, are the people that are going to get more results from doing 5 minutes than I would from doing an hour. My body's used to training. It's hard for me to get results. If you're not used to training, you're going to get results by doing a 10-minute workout. If you do 10 minutes a day for 7 days, you're going to see a massive difference in your body. For me, I'm used to training an hour a day. I'm not going to see that much change. I probably won't see any change in a week of workouts. I might grow a couple of millimeters, on my biceps around, or lose a millimeter or so off my middle. I'm not going to see the changes that you guys are seeing. I'm not going to lose the inches that you guys are losing because your bodies aren't used to working out. So it's a good thing. It's a bonus for you because your body is going to be really quick to respond to anything you do. You've got to just get past yourself. You've got to get over yourself. Like, to be honest, it's I know it's scary and I know it can be intimidating, but you've got to take yourself out of the equation and just go, fuck it. Well, that is like, I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to make excuses. And if you're doing these exercises at home in your living room, no one's going to see you. Just get through that pain of 5 minutes and then congratulate yourself when it's done. Best possible outcome. Your best possible outcome is that you've done 5 minutes of exercise today instead of none. You've done 5 minutes of exercise, which means that you haven't gone and resorted to binging on whatever's in the fridge because you now feel good about yourself because you've achieved something. When you get to the end of the day, what was the 3 good things about my day? What were the 3 best things that I achieved today? I did my exercise for 5 minutes. It hurt. I hated it, but I did it. And now I'm really proud of myself. The same with your food. It took a lot to plan my food today. I didn't want to plan it. I'm lazy about planning. I can't be bothered to spend the time, writing out my shopping list or preparing my meals. I can't be bothered. I'm too stressed out. I've got other things to do, but the day that you do it, and you get to the end of the day and you go, actually, do you know what? I feel so good. I'm so glad I did that. It was much less stressful. I didn't have to think about what I was eating today because I planned it last week. I planned it on Sunday. It was all there. All I had to do was go out and take the boxes out of the fridge and heat up. So just put in the work, be responsible for yourself. And with that last comment, I had a PT at the gym just through plain insecurity. And before that, I followed most of your online workouts because they're easy to do in the privacy of my own home. Thanks, Heather. Okay. Any more questions? I've got some on my phone and I've left my phone in the other room, which is annoying. Oh no, it's there. I could grab it because I've got some questions on WhatsApp. What do we have today? Let's have a look. WhatsApp, where are you? I hope no one's watching this live on YouTube. I hope it's only you guys because I'm sat here in my pajamas in my bed. Is that the ask button? Ooh, I don't know, Carolina, because I've never been a listener. Don't know. Anyone know how to ask a question? Carolina's asking. I don't know. Sorry, I can't help you. Just Carolina, just send me your WhatsApp me your question because I've got my phone. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? I know there was a question here. Is it Kelly? Oh yeah, no, Kelly emailed me, didn't she? Right. Sorry, guys. The questions on my Facebook, on my email, and on my WhatsApp, and on here. So I'm all over the place. Bear with me. Just going to go into my email and get Kelly's question. Oh God, email's gone mad as well. Oh, thanks, Rena. Yes, I've got your measurements and River is just fine. Right, Kelly. Stop binging, get into a healthier pattern where a treat's okay, but life isn't just one big treat. That's what I said before. You've got to take away this idea of restriction. A treat's fine. A treat is fine any time of the day, at any point, and you can eat whatever you want in any volume. Just give yourself the choice. Literally, that's how it works. Once you can choose to have, my friend Heather does this. She'll have a chocolate orange or Rice Krispie squares or whatever, but she chooses to have it. She lets herself have it. She lets herself have a glass of wine if she wants, and so she doesn't binge because it's there if she wants it. There's chocolate in the fridge. I have chocolate in the fridge. I've got cupboards full of sweets and chocolate and crisps because River's allowed to take whatever he wants. I teach him that as well. There's no you can't have this, you can't have that. It's like, can I have this? I'm like, yeah, if you want it. There's no restriction around it. There's no emotional attachment to it. If you want it, have it. He's like, Mum, can you cook me some? There are days where he goes, Mum, can you just cook me some vegetables, please? I just want something healthy to eat. What kid says that? Because I've never put any restriction on food for him. And that's basically what I try and teach to all of you. Happiness makes feeling good about myself. I haven't got time, too tired, won't sustain it. Okay, you're limiting behaviors and your excuses. They haven't got time. I'm too tired. I've got this on. I've got that. It's harsh, but you literally just have to take responsibility for yourself. It is personal responsibility all the way. When you're tired and you get home from work and you can't be bothered to do your workout and you've got other things going on, you're stressed out and da-da-da-da-da, you literally have to, I hate the phrase man up. I hate it, but it's true. You have to man up, and I do it every morning. Most mornings I don't want to go to the gym. I love training, but I don't want to go to the gym because I am tired. I lift 6 days a week. I train twice a day, most days, and it is hard, especially that second workout. Going to the gym in the morning, I can get myself there and get that workout done. But by the time I finish that workout, I am dead. So coming home and sitting down and eating a meal and then getting my trainers and going back out, especially in the rain, the cold, to do my cardio when I've already worked out, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I do it because I know the best possible outcome is that I'm going to win trophies on stage. I know that's different. It's a different target to what guys have got, but your end goal is the same because your end goal is happiness. That your end goal is achieving something. Your end goal is feeling good about yourself. Your end goal is being proud of what you have been able to do, the challenges you've been able to go through, and the mentality of I will get whatever I want. So if you want to be feeling amazing in the summer, by the time it gets down to, vest tops and shorts, if you want to be literally opening the wardrobe and throwing on clothes without thinking about it, you've got to have the personal responsibility now to go, I'm really tired, but I need to do it. I'm just going to get on and do it. It's only 12 minutes. It's only 15 minutes. It's only an hour on the weekend to make sure I prep my food, but I'm just going to do it. You have to build routine. That's the only way to do it. Okay. Is that it? Questions? Oh, Carolina has said, click the little image of 9 squares at the top of the page. And then there's a Q&A option, then the green button at the bottom right of the page, and that is around asking a question. Can you guys see the Q&A on the side? I don't know if you can see the questions on the side. I struggle to make myself exercise. I love it when I do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we've covered that one. Okay, last one on here. Right, Carolina, I do exercise. I try to keep a healthy diet, but I don't shift the weight. In order to lose weight, I need to be on a hardcore diet. No, you don't. I'm doing my fitness pal, but I can't eat all the calories. Right, so there you go. Should I eat the calories I'm advised to eat? Feel guilty of eating, and even though you tried to eat healthy and exercise, and still very overweight. Carolina, okay, if you are exercising and having a healthy diet, there isn't a reason for you not to be shifting weight unless you're not sleeping properly. If you're not sleeping properly, you're probably going to be overeating carbs in the day. If you're not eating enough, I'm doing my fitness pal, but I don't eat all the calories. No, you're not going to lose weight because you're not eating enough calories to lose weight. So my first question is, what's your sleep pattern like? Because if you're stressed and you're not sleeping, your hormones are going to be completely out of whack. And if your hormones are out of whack, your body is going to be under physical stress. If your body is under physical stress, it thinks that it is in an emergency kind of situation, and it won't let you drop weight. It will not let you drop body fat. So if you're overly stressed, that's the first thing you need to address, and we need to bring your stress levels down. So that could be nightly meditation. It could be you might need to schedule your week a little bit better and take some time out for yourself. I know it's hard when you've got a job. I know, because I'm a single mum and I've got a full-time business, and I've got these competitions and stuff. So I know it's hard to schedule that time for yourself. I'm guilty of it right now. I'm not doing enough time for myself. But it's important. This afternoon, I took the afternoon off. I had 2 hours out because I was getting to the point, I think I posted yesterday on Facebook, I'm grinding my teeth, like all day, every day. I was grinding my teeth and I didn't know what it was. And it's because I'm overwhelmed with work at the moment. I'm just working so hard, nonstop. So I took this afternoon and I just sat on my bed, drank a cup of tea, looked out the window for about half an hour and read a book. Because I needed to. I physically needed to do that. So one is your stress levels. Are you managing them? Two, are you sleeping properly? And if you can answer yes to both those questions, so your stress levels down and you're sleeping between 7 to 9 hours a night, the next thing I would look at is your hydration. The way to work out how much water you should be drinking is by body weight. So if you if you find out how much you weigh in pounds, so for example, I think I weigh like 120 pounds, right? So 100, basically you divide your weight by 50. So 120 pounds divided by 50 is roughly two and a bit, right? Two and a bit. So I should be drinking 2.5 liters of water every day as a bare minimum. Now I say 3 liters is a bare minimum, but if you've got more weight on you, then you'll need to drink more water. So work out how much water you should be drinking, because if you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to lose any weight either. So those are the first few things I would address. Have a look at those this week. Can you write a diary so you're monitoring those and tracking them, because your answer is going to be there. And then come back to me with that, and then we'll discuss that. Where are we now? Thursday. So come back to me next Thursday. We'll look at what you've done over the week and we'll track it from there. Okay. Anyone else? Any more questions? Is there anything I need to cover that I haven't? Undereating. Okay. Undereating. I'm familiar with this. Feeling guilty about eating too much. So this is a really tough one. I probably can't answer this very well, but I'll do my best. I feel guilty about eating. I don't like eating. I'm not a big eater. I find it hard to put food in my body. I'd rather not eat. I find it comfortable. Yesterday I ran out of protein. That was the day before. Day before yesterday I ran out of protein powder, and my immediate thought was, "Oh, thank God I don't have to have 5 meals tomorrow because I've run out of protein." My next thought was, I need to get my calories in. Where am I going to come from? And my next thought was, I'm going to have to eat 5 meals, actually eat 5 meals. I feel guilty about eating too. The thing is, without fueling your body, you will not have the energy to exercise. Without fueling your body, you will not have the mental capacity to focus on what you want, your goals. You won't be able to focus on making the choice of healthy nutrition, because your brain's not going to be functioning without calories, without fuel. So you've almost got to make this switch over and just know that the fuel that you're putting into your body is going to give you the best possible outcome. It all comes down to the way that we think. Flip the perspective. Look for your best possible outcome. Focus on what you're gaining, not what you're losing. Focus on the positive feelings that you're getting from it, the hope, the excitement from the potential that you're going to achieve in the next few weeks, and get those meals in. Your meals have to be regular, little and often if you want. 5 meals a day is great if you're a binge eater, if you feel like you have sugar crashes in the afternoon, if you're someone that doesn't like big meals, go 5 meals a day. 2 snacks, small snacks, 3 decent meals. That's it. But yes, if your calories are down, you need to eat calories. Your body won't give up body won't give up body fat. If your calories are down, it will store it, and you won't build muscle. So what will happen is, if you're doing your workouts and you're doing weight-based resistance workouts, which is what I'm giving you guys to do, body weight on, and and there's some other weights in there as well. It's all resistance. If you're not fueling properly after those workouts, your body will go catabolic, right? So there's 2 things: anabolic, catabolic. Anabolic is where we build muscle, and that is what we do by training and fueling. So if we eat properly after our workouts, we will build lean muscle, and lean muscle has an inverse relationship to body fat. The two do not coexist. Lean muscle is a place where you burn fat in your body. It's the only place where you can burn fat in your body is in the lean muscle. The more lean muscle you have, the more surface area you have to burn fat, the less fat you have on your body. If you are working out and you're not eating properly, your body will go catabolic. So to fuel your workout, your body is going to eat your muscle. Okay, it will store the fat, because it's easier to convert muscle to energy than it is to convert fat to energy. Fat is a much more difficult process for the body to convert to energy. So you must eat properly. If you're working out and you're not eating properly, your body's going to store fat. End of. So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer for you. Make sure you're getting your calories in. Make sure you're eating before your workout, having your breakfast in the morning, eating after your workout with your carbs, and then you don't really need your carbs for the rest of the day. 100 grams of carbs after your workout, 100 grams of protein, or 120 grams of fish. And then, some protein and veg with the evening meal, snack in the afternoon. That's it. Maybe a protein shake before bed if you're going to bed a bit later, but trying to get to bed by 10 o'clock. Lights out, pitch black room, all of these things, they really, really do work. So that's it. Right. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to log off, because I am absolutely shattered now. You guys must be too, after a long day at work. Okay, well, if there's no one else that has any questions, I hope I've covered everything for you. If you want to, I'll put the link up so you can watch this again on YouTube. So if you do have questions in the morning that you forgot to ask, watch again on YouTube and you've got questions, just put them in the group. I'll put it on the same thread as I put the link up for this, so we can keep them in the same place, and then everyone knows where to go for the questions and answers. But I hope that was helpful for you. I don't usually do these live Q&As for my smaller groups. I don't usually do them outside of my 8-week or 12-week coaching programs. So you probably won't get another one of these, but I wanted to make sure that you are all kind of happy with the binge eating thing, because it has a big impact on whether you're going to succeed on a program or not. So that's it from me today. Have a good sleep. I'm Phoenix Rain, and you are super yummy. Bye.